All right, guys, what's going on? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. And if you're looking at the gameplay right now, and if something seems a little bit different or a little quote-unquote off, well, you'd be right, because for the first time ever, right before recording this little commentary, I am playing on PC, so this is PC footage. Now, just before getting into what I'm about to say as far as the PC is concerned, I am not running the fanciest, most expensive setup. I bought this pre-build a little more than 2 years ago, and to this day, the specs are still good. I am running on a 3060 Ti and a 12th gen i5 and 32 gigs of RAM. So pretty somewhere in the middle of the bunch setup, but it's very solid. It does everything I need it to do. And I basically have all my settings to low, and everything else in terms of the controller is pretty much identical to what it was on console. But one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, even though it's not the main topic, I just wanted to say that as far as PC is concerned, now obviously all these 500 plus hours that I've put into XDefiant, I've been playing on Xbox Series X because I want, I like simplicity or whatnot. But I didn't do anything fancy with the PC, because there's videos out there, including one by Nightfall. As a matter of fact, a few of them by Nightfall. Shout out to him, by the way. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. But he makes a few videos in terms of how you can increase your performance or increase your frames and everything else in XDefiant on PC. And there's a lot of different things you have to do with the settings, and you have to go here and you have to do that. And basically I was like, with all due respect, of course, I was like, fuck that. I'm just going to continue playing on console. It is what it is. But I've had a lot of free time lately because, well, I'll get into that in a minute, but I decided to get on and I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to have all my settings to low, right? Because I don't really care about the graphical fidelity. I'm using my 1440p monitor, but I think I'm playing on 1080p settings, and the frames are at about 144, something like that, give or take. So I'm not even playing on the monitor that's got the most amount of frames. My other monitor is a 1080p monitor that can go up to 240, but I'm just doing it on my regular monitor like I usually use, just to, look at everything else on PC whenever I'm not playing, but this time I just decided to play. And one thing I can tell you right off the bat, guys, and you guys know how much time I've put into XDefiant, and I can tell you right off the bat that the game feels more responsive. It is noticeably more responsive. It is noticeably smoother. And I'm actually really looking forward to trying it out on my other monitor to see if there's maybe an additional, few percentage more of smoothness that I can feel. But I mean, it's only 20 frames difference in accordance to what I get on console. But man, I can tell you, in terms of the performance, in terms of like just everything feeling more responsive, especially in the hit detection and stuff like that, it doesn't feel as I'm getting as blindsided. Now, granted, XDefiant still has the netcode issues, although recently they've been patched up a little bit. And since also switching to the PC, I'm noticing even more of a difference. It's almost as if my bullets are traveling even faster, so to speak, right? And they're reaching their target even faster. It's like as soon as I squeeze the trigger, bam, the hit markers go off, and then you hear that amazing sound for when you get the kill. So I just wanted to say that real quick. I mean, I know everybody's experience has been different, regardless of whether you're, I've heard people on PC have been having different experiences, both good and bad. Same thing for Xbox, same thing on PlayStation. So it really is a mixed bag. So I guess I can say that in my experience, I guess I'm lucky in this aspect. But I know some of you guys in the comment section will be like, well, duh, Jack, this is why the majority of players play on PC if they have one, right? Because it's, the best platform you can possibly play on, et cetera, et cetera. I get it. I understand it. And yeah, it's kind of nice to feel that or whatnot. And to be honest, I really don't even want to go back to playing on Xbox, to be honest with you. But anyway, let's get into more of what I wanted to talk about in the topic today, because for those of you guys that may have noticed by now, this is going to be a little bit of a longer video than usual. So I just want to get into everything now. It's been a few days since I made an XDefiant video. My last stream, I was playing Devil May Cry 3. So now, as far as XDefiant is concerned, right now there's not too much going on. However, one thing that I will say, and one thing that I do know about myself, is that if I take a few days off of playing a first-person multiplayer shooter like XDefiant, the itch to come back and play it again and to grind it again comes back relatively quickly. Because obviously, as you guys know, as far as the channel is concerned, This is basically an XDefiant channel. It was once a Call of Duty channel, and then I just did whatever for about 1.5 to 2 years because the channel was dead, didn't give a damn about anything. And then once I started covering XDefiant, fast forward 1.5 years later, this channel's had more success than it's ever had, hands down, in almost 10 years of its existence. The most success it's ever had was in the last 1.5 years, and it's all because of XDefiant. And of course, because of you guys, because it takes two to tango. It's all, no content creator gets to any level of success without its viewers. That is just a fact. If anybody tells you otherwise, they're full of shit. Now, obviously, you guys may have noticed that there hasn't really been that much content on XDefiant as far as videos are concerned for like a few days now. And if anything, I've just been streaming it. And, now obviously the game feeling better on PC does help because it almost feels like a different game when the game is playing that much smoother, which is one of the reasons why come season 3, people are really looking forward to an additional netcode upgrade and everything else that goes with it, with like, the features like Prestige and all that kind of other stuff that we've been asking for. We all know the song and dance about that. We've covered it on here. Other content creators like Nightfall and a few others have covered it as well. And the thing is this, like, as of right now, at least for the next 5 or so weeks, there's really not going to be anything major happening with XDefiant unless something pops up. So what I wanted to let you guys know is that I do not want to push myself into a deep burnout, or else I will stop doing YouTube altogether. I know this very well. It's something that I've done before, and I am not going to push to make out videos as often as I have been, at least for now, for a small period of time, simply because of the fact that there's really not much going on, and to continue to push it when there's really not much going on and try to squeeze as many more views, as many more subscribers, et cetera, while not having something significant to talk about is not the way to go. Especially when you're getting to the point to where, you're starting to feel a little bit of the repetitiveness of the whole thing. Because I've played a lot of XDefiant, I've streamed a lot of XDefiant, I've done a lot of XDefiant content, none of which I mind. But right now, we're at a point right now where there's nothing going on. But yet at the same time, because there's nothing going on, I'm still moving at the same speed, which is wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow things down again. And I'm going to speed things back up to normality when things start to move at a little bit of a faster pace with XDefiant. Because right now, XDefiant is kind of like at a standstill. There hasn't really been that much, going on in terms of communication from the team or Mark Rubin or anything like that. Because I'm pretty sure they have their heads down pretty damn deep in terms of getting us all the stuff that's been leaked or rumored to be coming to season 3, which is said to be bigger than seasons 1 and 2 combined when you look at features and content that we're getting overall. So with that being said, it really makes no sense for me to continue to move at a fast speed when there's not really a race going on, if that analogy makes sense. And if anything, I just thought whenever I stream on here, I'll stream XDefiant. Granted, it probably won't be every day. It'll be like a few days a week, maybe. I might even take some time off, like maybe a week, and not do anything. Because if it ever gets to a point to where not playing anything just really doesn't do anything for you, like if you're playing anything, whether it's XDefiant, whether it's Devil May Cry 3, whether it's whatever, and it really doesn't seem to be doing much for you, that's usually a sign, not a good sign. So the best way is to, just like everything else, recharge your batteries. And it really is true, for those of you guys that may have heard, it really is true that you can't even have too much of a good thing. And it's true. No matter how healthy or unhealthy it is, you do anything too much, it's not good, because it's going to knock you off balance, and a whole bunch of other things could happen, right? Balance is key. And right now, I'm off balance. I mean, here, check this out, guys. Here's something that you guys are going to find really funny. Now, obviously, you guys know with the hurricanes and stuff like that I mentioned, one of my 2 jobs is, I haven't been going because most of the staff isn't working because of everything that happened with the hurricane, and business is slow, and because of a lot of people are in recovery So in that particular part to where I work at. So basically, at this point, I've just been kind of taking it as time off and just kind of recharge my batteries, because I'm always working 6 days a week. I always work more than 40 hours a week, and I've got 2 jobs, and there are times where I work significantly even more hours per week. And I've been going at that pace for a while, and I don't really take that much time off normally. So right now I'm kind of taking it as life's way of saying, like, hey, take the time off. So, and sometimes that needs to also include things like content creation, XDefiant, etc., etc. And I feel right now is the best time to at least slow down and maybe even stop for a little bit and let things recharge even better and faster. So that way, when things come back to full speed and as the wheels start to turn again, it'll be business as usual. Because I also saw a video earlier today, that one of the XDefiant content creators who's been very successful over the last year or so, ever since the release of the game, Zai is pretty much. I saw the video earlier, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but he's pretty much he's calling it quits with XDefiant. So not only has XDefiant lost players, but XDefiant has lost content creators, and it's gonna continue to lose content creators. But as long as the game continues to stay alive, I do not want to be on that list of content creators that ends up going MIA because they've had enough of XDefiant. And the best way for me to do that, or one of the best ways for me to do that, is to let the batteries recharge. And at the same time, I don't ever want to be making videos about XDefiant, which is what you guys are here to see in the first place, that are, let's say, that like lose their juice, so to speak. I don't want to make filler videos all the time. I don't want to make videos that are a waste of your guys' time. You know what I mean? Every content creator, when they run out of ideas, sometimes they'll make filler videos or something like that just to kind of fill in the blanks a little bit, but their meat and potatoes will always be there. But right now, there's not really much to work with as far as meat and potatoes is concerned with XDefiant. And we are about 44 days away until the battle pass of this season ends, which means the day after, which is 45 days from now, is when XDefiant Season 3 is supposed to launch. So, which is roughly going to be about a year. I'm sorry, not a year. A week before Christmas Day. So hopefully, the crew, Mark Rubin and crew, will get everything out, and hopefully we'll have some content to look forward to, new features to look forward to, new things to play, new things to grind as far as the game is concerned. And again, even if let me just reiterate something. Even if this Season 3 ends up being disappointed and the game is still alive, well, if my batteries are recharged, I've got no problem grinding the game and playing the game again. But the batteries need to be recharged. So, because I'm always in the mood to play a first-person shooter like this, which is why I've played it as much as I have. Because I went for a long time without even playing a first-person shooter like this. Halo scratched a different itch for me for a couple of years. But XDefiant is the ideal game for me to truly be satisfied as far as the itch is concerned. And I'm always in the mood to play these types of games. However, knowing myself as I have, for 40 years now, one thing I do know is that even in things that I enjoy doing, I can reach burnout if I continue to push it, especially when it's not necessary. And right now, it's not necessary. And, as far as if I were to stream any other game, I mean, today I streamed it on the main channel here, but I'll probably do it on my second channel next time I do it. I was just too, by the time I was ready to go live, I was like, oh crap, I got to change the settings and stuff like that on my Streamlabs with my other account, so that way I can stream on there. And then I was like, nah, we'll just stream here. Let's just do it. Who cares, So if I were to do that again, I would do it on the other channel as far as the other games are concerned. But with that being said, it's time to slow down. And it's also time to kind of look at life away from content creation and away from gaming. Because, like I said, if it ever gets to a point to where you're just going through the motions whenever you're playing a game, when you're trying to have a good time, even when you're not creating content, that just goes to show that, hey, you gotta not only do you have to slow down from work and take that, but you also got to slow down from even playing video games. Step away from the controller, step away from everything else, and focus more on other things. Or even just sleep or whatnot. Just recharge the batteries, because when you're not playing game and when you're not making content, you're either doing something else or you're just recharging. Simple as that. So anyway, guys, so I just wanted to kind of make this video and share with you my experience on PC so far, as well as the gameplay that you're seeing here. And just to kind of go in depth in terms of the channel, because I don't want you guys to be like, oh, what the hell's going on? Jack hasn't posted in like a week. He hasn't made a new video in a week. What the hell's going on? So yeah, so I just kind of wanted to go and just kind of give you guys a little bit of an update on that. And on top of that, you know, it's kind of sad when you see content creators that have made an impact on the game, even though we're a small community with a lot of small content creators. It is sad to see one, you know, go, but at the same time, I will say this, and if they're listening to this video, I will say this: you're a lot smarter than I was, because when I was starting to feel burnt out on COD, I kept going. And then I stopped, and then I came back, and then I was still burnt out because I just went so fucking hard for so many years. And on top of that, I did it wrong. So if you're going to change directions now when you're starting to see things, you know, feeling a little funky, then in my opinion, you're smarter than I ever was. So I tip my hat to you. But at the same time, one thing to always remember is XDefiant, as long as it remains alive, it will still be here. So if the itch ever comes back, it could always come back. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to end it here. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch and or listen. You can let all your opinions and thoughts be known in the comments section down below. I thank you all for the support, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.